So let's bring in Hollywood divorce attorney David Glass for more on this. David?
People going through divorces are going through some of the hardest times of their lives, and a lot of what they're going through is emotional. And in any divorce, there's a huge sense of loss, and loss of relationship, of money, some friends.
We're back again for another episode of the Hourglass Podcast, where family law and psychology intersect. I'm David Glass, certified family law specialist, former psychologist, and the author of Moving On, Redesigning Your Emotional, Financial, and Social Life After Divorce. Today we have a very entertaining episode. We talk a lot about recovery from divorce on the Hourglass Podcast, and today's show features a guest who is a real innovator in finding a solution to the demise of his marriage. In my 25 years as a family law attorney, I've never heard of a funnier way to exact revenge. Here's the deal. We learned that Kevin Cotter from Tucson, Arizona, split with his wife of 12 years in 2009. She left the house, he writes, and he noticed that she left one item behind in their shared closet, her wedding dress. When asked what he should do with it, she replied, "Whatever the bleep you want." Deciding to take her up on that, Kevin gathered with his family and went to work devising 101 uses for his ex-wife's wedding dress. Along with his brother Colin, who served as his photographer, Kevin went to work. He's now married with a blended family of 5 and works as the controller of his wife's online business, GetMomStrong. But he's here with us today to share his hilarious story. Incidentally, the book got a lot of media coverage when it was first released. And today, it continues to sell. Some of the uses he availed himself included a hammock, a shoe polish rag, oven mitts, golf club towel, shower curtain, pasta strainer, painting canvas, punching bag, headdress, and scarecrow outfit. He even took a few threads from the dress and used them as dental floss. He even used the box the dress was packaged in as a coffee table or footrest. The best use was the day he wrote to the dress's manufacturer to compliment them on the durability of the fabric. So sturdy was it that he towed a small SUV with it for a mile without a single tear. Coming to us live via Zoom from Tucson is author Kevin Cotter. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. Happy to be here.
Okay, so of the 101 uses you came up with in your book, what was your favorite?
Oh, I've got a couple. It's tough. The one that became the banner for my website, which was the Darth Vader scarecrow. If I had to pick one, it's going to be the Darth Vader scarecrow, which actually is kind of a funny story because we had scarecrow as one of the ideas, but when we went to stage it, we had no plan for what to use for its head. And I just started rummaging around the house. And when I stumbled across the Darth Vader mask, it just made sense.
Yeah, I mean, the book is hilarious. When I read through it, I was laughing out loud to myself while reading, which is a very rare thing to happen. Just some of the ones I remembered, you did a Go team. I can't remember what team it was for, but you did a banner for a football game.
Oh, yeah. We got some questions going through security at the University of Arizona when we took that to a football game for sure. Right. We had to recruit some people in the stands to, in order to display it properly.
Right.
It's a big dress.
Yeah, very big dress. And you got those people to cooperate, and then you got a great photo.
For sure.
I mentioned just a couple of the uses for your ex-wife's wedding dress. Can you give our audience a more expansive list of the various uses that you found?
Yeah, well, I actually came up with and I can't say but my family and I over dinner one night at my mom and dad's house after my divorce, organically came up with a list of about 60 ideas.
Wow.
And they didn't know. This was a couple months after my divorce. I shared with them that I had the dress. and I genuinely asked, what should I do with it? And I immediately got some creative responses. My mom said it would make a nice doormat. My brother had a less clean application for it. We took out a pen and paper and just started writing them all down. So originally we were thinking practical and manly, shoe polish for my soccer cleats, grill cover, fishing net. But then when I started my blog, I shared that I hoped to get to 101, and I asked people for suggestions. And that's when, we got all sorts of great ideas, like snow camo, which actually it is probably my second favorite use. I would have never thought to use it as snow camo, and we don't get a lot of snow in the desert here, but
Right.
an hour away we do. And so those ended up being some great pictures too.
Yeah, sure. And so if you came up with the first 60 at dinner with your family, how long did it take you to complete the list of 101?
Well, pretty much as soon as I launched my website, I mean, within days, it went viral.
Right.
Oddly, around the world before it was here. So I was getting ideas from Australia. And so within days of the website launching, with the traffic it got, I had thousands of emails to the Gmail account that I shared, and plenty of ideas.
Amazing. How did you feel after completing the 101? When you finished that 101st picture, put it all together as a book, exactly how did you feel?
Oh man, I mean, the whole process. So my brother, I have three sisters and one brother. My brother is 6 years younger than me, and he's my best friend. So he was my partner in crime as we staged all these and wandered around town, got lots of funny looks for a lot of them, because quite a few of them were in public.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, it's hard to articulate, but it really was the perfect way for me to process, just a really difficult situation, hanging out with my brother, laughing, even when we weren't taking the pictures and staging these, we were conspiring, coming up with ideas. And so we had this whole process that took months, that just really was enjoyable throughout. But yeah, finally seeing it come together as a book, it was something special.
Amazing. And do you still have any remnants of the dress hanging around?
So I moved about a year and a half ago, and I still had the dress.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved, we made a big move in town, but at that point I decided to part ways with it. I do have a fly in my fly box. I'm a fly fisherman, so I made some flies from the dress, and I do still have a fly. But other than that, the dress and I have parted ways. So turn that chapter.
Excellent. And so now I understand you're married. You have a blended family. What did your wife think when she found out that you were the author of this book?
So the book actually hadn't been published when we met, and I had pretty much all the pictures taken, and we had been on a number of dates, and I knew that I really liked her, and I just felt obligated to let her in on my project.
Sure.
So one night I just said, "Hey, there's something that I need to show you." And I sat her down at my computer and started showing her the pictures. And she got the humor, thankfully. She thought that it was, she thought it was funny. And so I'm very grateful that she was able to see the lighter side of what I was up to, and didn't think that I was, she didn't run away. I didn't scare her off.
Absolutely. An amazing litmus test. Is this someone I can live with going forward?
Exactly. Yeah, we have very similar senses of humor. So.
Yeah, and that goes a long way. So, Kevin, you did the book about the wedding dress. Any suggestions on what to do with a groom's tuxedo that a woman is left at the end of their marriage?
You know what? I had so many women reach out to me, and a lot of them said they want, I would love to do this with my ex-husband's tuxedo. I mean, really, a lot of the same things apply. I'm sure you could, I'm sure you could polish some shoes. I don't think you could tow a car with a tuxedo, but it's a well-made wedding dress can actually tow a vehicle. So you're going to be limited to some of the smaller applications, tissue, shoe polish, cloth. You could check your oil, I'm sure, gas cap, a few of those.
Right.
But the grander ones, they really require a wedding dress.
Well, so that's just one of those ideas that doesn't have legs.
That's I mean, you could get creative, but I don't think it would be quite as much fun.
Any other ideas brewing for a future book?
Oh man, I mean, she might be able to write a book based on what she's doing. I don't know that how to manage on 5 hours of sleep at age 49, maybe. I don't know if there's a market for that, but that's what I'm up to right now is
Right.
is starting all over with a newborn at, kind of if I were a woman, they would say it's a geriatric fatherhood, because that's what
Right.
once they're like 38, I think that's what they call them in pregnancy. But so, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm up to. I don't have any other things related to the wedding dress. So that's where we're at now.
I kind of think between you and your wife, there's at least one other revolutionary idea out there that's going to catch fire. I'm gonna put you on a Google tracing thing to say I want to be there when you come up with your next idea.
All right.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure and a lot of fun to talk to you.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.